Dear Ministers, dear Hosung, Chair of IPCC, dear colleague Inger and dear Abdallah, the Director of the Secretariat. It's a pleasure to address you all and thanks for coming to this meeting. And especially I would like to thank the Technical Support Unit, which has been responsible for this very important document. And I would like to also thank lead authors and reviewers of this Working Group 3 report. You have all devoted lots of your personal time and your capacity to this work, and from WMO's side, as host organization of IPCC, we are very grateful for your great work. And this is, of course, now the third part of the assessment cycle 6. We got the physical basis published in August, the Working Group 2 report just a few weeks ago, and hopefully we will be able to publish this Working Group 3 report in the coming couple of weeks. And this 3 is very essential report for the policymakers, and of course it was the material that you have in the report. It was published before the Glasgow COP meeting, which was a partly very successful COP meeting, but it's going to feed in to the forthcoming COPs in Sharm el Sheikh this November, and also the one next year hosted by United Arab Emirates. The clear message from the science community is that we need to raise the level of ambition of mitigation. So far we are not heading towards 1.5 to 2 degrees target, and what was clearly shown by the Working Group 1 report is that the lower the number is going to be, the better for the welfare of mankind and also for the biosphere. And I hope that this report will lead to higher ambition by the member countries of United Nations. And now we have excellent material coming out of this report, and also it's not only this kind of blaming material, but there are also plenty of positive things, how to be cost effective in mitigation and what kind of good opportunities there are cooking. So that's highly valuable material for the individual governments. From WMO's side, we are very much interested in supporting adaptation as well. We have major gaps in the basic observing systems of meteorological stations, climate stations, and also hydrological monitoring. And also the services are limited. Only half of WMO members, 193 members, have proper early warning services, and only 1/3 of the population of the world, they have access to high-level services. And we are just discussing with the presidency of the next COP meeting, COP27, that there's a need to invest $1.5 billion to improve the situation. And investments in these weather, climate and water services is a good investment. The return of investment is at least 10. Besides that, we are also concentrating very much on global greenhouse gas monitoring and especially the budgets monitoring. We have ground-based network, we have the Global Atmosphere Watch, we have satellite programs of United States, Japan, China, and soon also by European countries. And then we have also models to simulate the behavior of greenhouse gases. And we have major scientific challenges, especially when it comes to carbon dioxide. Its terrestrial component, it's not too well known. And also we have some uncertainties related to the sources of methane as examples. So it's a scientific problem, and there's also need to support policymakers with such know-how, and that's why WMO is going to invest more in greenhouse gas global budget monitoring with the help of several member countries which have such know-how and networks already running. Once we learned about this COVID pandemic, which is still partly ongoing, our fear was that climate would be dropped out of the agenda, and what was in real term happening was that luckily the important theme climate wasn't forgotten, and that was also demonstrated in Glasgow, where we expected to see 10,000 participants, and finally we got 50,000, and also we heard lots of successes coming out of Glasgow. Because of COVID, we have learned now new ways to run meetings. We don't have to travel so much as we did in the past, and also we don't have to commute to work so much as we did in the past. We have learned to telework, and those are all good means for climate. At the moment, we have a terrible war going on in Ukraine, which is a real catastrophe for the Ukrainian people and also for the Russian people. Hopefully, there will be also positive outcomes after this war is over. It may speed up the green transition to reduce the consumption of fossil energy. But in the short term, we may also see a boost in food crises, especially in less developed countries, and that's also one of the matters of concerns. But after both COVID and this war, climate challenge remains, and it's the main challenge of mankind for this century. And the challenge there is that especially the G20 countries should raise their ambition level, which is very much the message from this report, and 80% of the carbon emissions, they are coming from G20 countries. So that's the main challenge that we have at the moment. The draft which I've been reading looks excellent, and I'm looking forward to the final summary for policymakers, which you are supposed to publish in a couple of weeks, and this is going to be very important material for the input material for the COP27, and also us who are working for the UN. And I'm sure that this report will be carefully read by me and several colleagues, and it will also help us to bring the good strategy for the forthcoming COP meetings. With these words, thanks a lot for joining this event, and I'm looking forward to see you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you.